Okay, episode review. This episode wasn't that interesting, but we did get a few bits of information here and there about characters, especially Iwabe, and the reason why he was really annoyed with the whole Bloody Mist thing and the entire school trip. Okay, so at the start, we see the 5th Mizukage. She looks slightly older, and when you compare her to Tsunade, right, Tsunade hasn't aged at all because we know Tsunade is using a jutsu to maintain her youth. But in the manga version, the 5th Mizukage Mei actually looked a bit more maybe fat or obese kind of thing, and she looked really aged. But here, I think she retained her youth more, so I'm liking this character design more than the one in the manga because, yeah, it hasn't even been that long, so I don't expect her character design to even change that much, you know what I'm saying? So I really like the anime version. The second point I want to talk about is the fact that Chojuro wants to pass on the title of Mizukage onto Kagura. Right now, Kagura is part of the new generation, and the motive at the moment is to push everything forward, to make sure that the new generation quickly take over, because the old generation might have a few things faulty with them. Say for example, people might have grudges, people might have, you know, things against other villages and all that kind of stuff. Those are the old generation who experienced war. Now the time that they are pushing for is for the new generation to develop the world even further. Now, as you can see, in terms of technology, right, apparently the Mist village is more, you know, technologically advanced than all the other villages out there, or at least more advanced than the Leaf village. So if you look at that, this is what can be produced during peace times. And the thing about this is that this is because of the new generation. Now, because they are new, what will happen is that they will learn to accept each other from, you know, the beginning, because this is how they have been raised. And if that is the case, if every single one of these 5 nations actually raise their ninjas to accept each other, that is gonna, you know, create a world of peace. And this is how the technology is gonna evolve, because their stuff, to be honest, developed really quickly, because these motherfuckers were fighting with like sticks and stones the other, you know, year or so. And now Naruto is using a laptop. That is a big advancement in terms of technology, because in real life it actually took us decades to get there, and these motherfuckers just took what, 15 years or so. You know what I'm saying? This is the product of peace. This is what you can achieve if everyone just lays aside their differences in order to combine as one. And I think, or I hope, this is like a life lesson to all you people out there who are watching my review. You know, sometimes you just have to lay aside your differences and just cooperate, and you know, you will produce better results than if you were to work alone. Kagura is one of the most important characters in this arc, right? And my question is, okay, so people are pushing this guy to become one of the 7 swordsmen, and you know, the Mizukage is even pushing him to become the next Mizukage, right? Which is okay, but the question is, the Mizukage, the current Mizukage, is pushing for the future, and he wants the next person, you know, Kagura, who is part of the new generation, to push for the future as well. But then he is also pushing him to become one of the 7 swordsmen, and these swordsmen are not known to do good deeds, you know what I'm saying? You know, they were part of the Bloody Mist. I mean, they were part of what made the mist the Bloody Mist, you know what I'm saying? So in a way, Mr. Mizukage Chojuro here is pushing for the future, but at the same time he wants, you know, his apprentice or whatever to become one of the people in the past who helped the mist gain its name as the Bloody Mist. So it's like you're pushing for the future, but you are trying to bring back something that was from the past, something you are trying to avoid or build on top of, and now you want to bring it back. So it's like, okay, that's a huge contradiction. Iwabe apparently hates the Mist Village, and that is why he has been so cranky the entire time. It turns out that one of his relatives got killed by, I believe, the 4th Mizukage, right? And if that is the case, apparently, according to his logic, that prevents the village from advancing and changing their ways, apparently. So his grudge itself does not make sense, because yeah, we understand that you hate the 4th Mizukage, but that is the 4th Mizukage. That was back in the days of the Bloody Mist. So the fact that you are holding a grudge against a village which is trying or attempting to change is, you know, does not make sense. But then again, it's a family relative, so yeah, people do really get emotional when it comes to those kind of things, and they let their emotions cloud their judgment, and that is exactly what is happening to Iwabe. But then again, it's his family member, so I really have no say. The scene of Boruto fighting Kagura in terms of using Kenjutsu right, was really pointless, except from the fact that we got a highlight to Kagura seeing that he actually has some mental struggles going on. That's it. And then there was another scene with Boruto getting some octopus heads or whatever, and then he gives it to Sarada, right? And then, you know, this is the point where you people who ship these two can actually rejoice whatever the fuck you do. But the only issue here is that, you know, that scene had pretty much barely any good dialogue between Boruto and Sarada, so I think that point was useless. I mean, when Kagura came down and sat down and talked, then that actually brought something onto the story, but, you know, Boruto and Sarada just sitting there, really, I found that scene really pointless, to be honest with you. Next thing you know, Iwabe is kicking one of the people's asses within the Mist Village, and if they actually spread this information around, that would actually cause an uproar, you know what I'm saying? I mean, they are trying, you know, to create peace. The whole point of this trip was to create peace, and now you've got two villages fighting against each other after one, you know, got admitted into the Mist Village. So yeah, I think, right, that they are going to keep this under wraps, and Kagura is going to do his little thing behind the scenes and help Boruto save Denki, who managed to get himself captured. Now at this point, Denki has become, you know, a person who's an easy target. I mean, when the psycho who wanted Sumire so bad wanted her, he actually knocked out Denki, and now Denki has been captured. So it's like maybe Denki is going to become the Yamcha of Boruto, who knows, right? But I don't want that to be the case, because Denki is actually one of the underdog characters, and, you know, the most valued characters within the anime are one of the underdog characters, and the fact that he had nothing and had to actually struggle to get where he needs to be, right, is, you know, his struggle, something that Boruto does not have because he's a prodigy. So yeah, that makes Denki's character more special than Boruto, and it's really sad that one of the, you know, supporting characters is more interesting than the main character himself. To be honest with you, I'm not really excited about this new villain of this arc, because we know his ass is about to get whooped. He's going up against Boruto, who's a prodigy, Kagura, who's a prodigy, and, you know, even Sarada and Mitsuki. These people all have good feet, you know what I'm saying, and you're going up against these people as well as the entire class. Like, they will be able to take you down, if you know what I'm saying. And that is pretty much it. I don't think the rest of the Mist Ninja that follow this guy actually have good feet. One of them's ass got whooped by Iwabe, so it's like, yeah, if your henchmen are already getting whooped, then you are the only useful or resourceful person left. So it's like, yeah, you're on your own pretty much if your henchmen are weak. And that is pretty much it. I think this villain's ass is about to get whooped really, really badly. And yeah, that will probably conclude the arc. I don't think this arc was meant to be something big, you know what I'm saying? It is just meant to be, you know, just filler or padding added so they can plan out the proper, you know, Chunin exam arc or whatever arc is going to come next, because they still need to become Genin, right? So yeah, once they do, they are gonna, you know, select the teams, work together for a while, and then the Chunin exam is gonna come up. At least, you know, Boruto, Sarada, and Mitsuki should have one mission done before the Chunin exam actually starts. I mean, Naruto had a mission, you know, to do before they actually, you know, started the Chunin exam. So I think the Chunin exam arc is very, very far away. At least next year, you know, or halfway through next year is when we are going to start, you know, the Chunin exam. And by that time, the manga, you know, will be useless after the episodes pass the manga, because, yeah, the manga is once a month. And if the episodes pass the manga, then pretty much the manga is redundant, and I think the sales for the manga is going to go down, and I think probably they will just stop it there. If not, then I don't know, it's a bad marketing strategy in my opinion. But yeah, that has been my episode review. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below about what you thought about this episode. Not really, you know, much was given to us this episode except a bit of history, you know, which, to be honest with you, wasn't important to me, yeah, because I will be honest with you, right? So yeah, that was pretty much my episode review. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below about what you thought about this episode, whether it was, you know, informative or not, or whether it was exciting. With that being said, I have nothing more to say. Bye.